Hey guys, it's Momo, and right here I have with me is my roommate and also Scorpion. You've probably seen him in a few videos. If not, well, there he is. The first time you've seen him then.
Hello.
Well, what this video is, we're gonna talk. We went to the Xbox One tour. We want to talk about a little bit about what that is, what we saw, and our expectations, and if it approved or disapproved of what we saw. Any other thing you want to go over before we?
Not too much. I will say one thing. When it comes to the Xbox One tour, they could do a lot better job of telling you where this thing is. I swear to God, we drove around for 2 hours with 3 different GPSs going, trying to find where this place is, and the only marking was some green UV protection on a door that you cannot see at night. You know, we're sitting there at 7 o'clock at night, no way to find it.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it now the Xbox One hide and go seek event or Xbox One scavenger hunt. It's something like that because it was. He's not joking. It was impossible to find. But anyways, let's get on to the big point. Is first off, we want to talk about the look, design, and things about we saw with the Xbox One and Kinect. Although they were. First of all, before we get into that, I do have pictures. Sorry, I cannot post them online. They will not let me have them on my cell phone, but they will not let me post them. I could technically try, but I don't want my channel being flagged. So if you know me in real life, you can try to come visit me. I'll show you what I have. Anyways, going back, Xbox One and Kinect. They were not joking about the Kinect being so damn big.
It is really
wow.
big. The best way I can describe it to you guys is over here I have a water bottle. You know, pretty big. There it is in comparison to my face. Imagine it like that, but another couple of inches on the side. This thing is friggin' huge.
The length is not as big as what the length is whatever. The width.
It's probably a good 3 inches wide.
It's huge. It's massive. It's like a tiny little brick. Honestly, it really is. I guess another way you can say the width is about the size of the power brick of the Xbox 360. There's another way to compare it to it.
Secure it on your TV well. That thing is if you just sit it on top of that thing is gonna fall off, and you just lost a good couple $100.
Are you breaking the Xbox One Kinect or your table?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both.
Okay, the Xbox One. People were a little afraid that it was gonna be too big. Honestly, it's not that much bigger than Xbox. It's not that bad.
You know what? It looks great. It's sleek. It's a freaking rectangle. You know, it's roughly the same size as your Xbox 360. Just, if you want to know how big it is, get an original Xbox 360. Imagine it as a perfect rectangle. It's exactly how it looks.
Yeah, I mean, it's called the Xbox. What do you think? It should be a circle, a sphere? Well, that would be pretty cool, but for a system, but who cares?
Trapezoid.
Honestly, if it plays the games,
actually,
it's fine.
It's like that, but anyway.
Okay, now moving. I want to go on to the next topic because this was my favorite thing about the whole event: the controller.
Oh, that was.
Oh my God, that was.
That's just like sex in your hands.
Okay, I'm gonna go off to the first. The only thing I was a little iffy on would be the thumbstick. So here I got a regular 360 controller right here. So we can see that it fits. Can fit my thumb pretty well, right? The only difference with this is the Xbox One is significantly smaller. Would you say, right?
Yeah.
The thumbsticks were a little bit smaller. The edges were nice, but I'm a little iffy. Do I like the smaller thumbsticks, or do I prefer the 360 thumbsticks?
The trick I found with the thumbsticks, if you don't mind, a lot of times with the 360, I'll find myself putting my thumb into that depression in the thumbstick. With the Xbox One controller, the best way you can really hold it is with that little area in between the 2 joints. You just stick that into the thumbstick, and you have a lot of control that way.
So, I thought I might get used to it, but I gotta go to the best part. The triggers. The triggers were the best part about the Xbox One. I was a little afraid of the bulkiness of how the triggers would feel. They are a little bit more, what would you say, more of like a little curve to it.
They've got more of a gun trigger to them. It is like holding, got your Colt 45 or something. I want to talk a little bit about the size of the controller. It's a little bit bigger, so if you're anything like me, you got bigger hands. It fits your hands a lot better. And then, if you don't mind,
No huge battery pack as well. That was the
it
other
makes
issue.
such a huge difference. You wouldn't really expect it, but your
This is a
fingers
pain.
have a little bit more room to work with, and it fits so much better in your hands. And I think this is something Xbox has always had a good handle on, as opposed to, Sony or Nintendo. They seem to have controllers that were designed for, I don't know, dogs, chimpanzees, snakes, or something. But Microsoft has always had a good handle on making a controller the way your hands actually want to hold something.
I do want to go back to the triggers one more time. The bumpers were fine. They were nothing
There's
special.
no
to me.
real difference. It's just
But
a bumper.
The big reason the triggers, we're going to go back to this, especially with Forza, the impulse triggers, they actually made a huge difference. I didn't expect it to be that much. It felt weird the first time. It surprised me how realistic or nice it felt on my fingers. It's surprised me, honestly.
It's pretty freaky. I remember, the first time I felt that impulse trigger, I was playing Forza, and it actually brought back some pretty intense memories, which is really interesting if you think about it, how just a video game controller can bring back memories from real life.
Basically, what we're saying is, if you ever slammed the brake on your car and you felt
The ABS kick in, if you've ever felt that real rapid tap in your foot coming from the ABS,
you feel it right on the trigger.
It's
it feels
incredible.
exactly like hitting the brake. It was really cool. We're not going to go on to Forza yet. Okay, now we're going to go on to the first game we tried out, Killer Instinct. I wasn't too sure about this game. I'm kind of the same way.
It's kind of interesting in the way that it's more like a more family-friendly version of Mortal Kombat. So, if you got little kids around and you need somewhere to stick them for half an hour, you can put them in front of the Xbox One, get them some time with the werewolf and the Indian guy on Killer Instinct. But if you're not really looking for something family-friendly, you're looking for a badass fighting game, I would probably stick with just the free version of Killer Instinct. But, if you got little kids and you're looking for something that's not going to be too gory or too over the top for them, you might want to check it out because it is very well done.
The graphics are amazing. I have to give it to him for a fighting game that is really good. Graphics are amazing.
Graphics were astounding. Gameplay was logical.
It felt a little slow to me, though. It felt too slow for my tasting, and that's why I kind of had an issue. I like fighting games that would be a little more faster paced. It felt like it was too heavy. It felt like it could not move.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of special moves like you get in Mortal Kombat. It's very much, AXBY.
A lot of combos if you know how to do it. He was kicking my ass. I couldn't
I had
do
no
it.
idea
but
what I was doing. I was just sitting there
We're
hitting
just
buttons.
pressing buttons. But that might be another reason for not finding the special moves, because we were just complete idiots. But
We didn't even look at the card, if we're being completely honest.
all right, let's move over to a game, Forza. I pre-ordered the game. I was a little iffy on the game because I like more street racing games, and this confirmed it. I'm very happy that I pre-ordered this game. It was better than I thought. You're a little more on the other side.
I have been a Forza fan since the first game. I am totally into this series. The integration of Top Gear just makes it even better. But there is one thing that I want to talk about that is kind of a downside to Forza, as opposed to its many, many, many upsides. The acceleration in this game, or at least in the beta version that we played, does not seem to be as good as we got in Forza 3, Forza 4. You don't see that acceleration of the scenery around you when you're in the cockpit mode.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels like, you may be going 120 miles an hour, but if you looked out the window, you could think you're going 20 miles an hour. But,
Well, I haven't played it, so I don't know the thing. But what's the one thing? Because I'm gonna get to other things quickly. The one thing I gotta go back to is with this game, impulse triggers.
impulse triggers and ABS, it's incredible. You do
Even the acceleration too. You feel like as you're shifting gears, you feel something's changing within the impulse trigger. You actually feel it happening. It was amazing.
It's kind of like a clunk almost is the best way I can describe it. You can feel the braking, you can feel the acceleration. It really brings you a lot more into the game.
Yeah.
It feels like if you've ever driven a sports car and you get that feedback from the road, it's exactly what it feels like.
And the last thing I want to say about it, beautiful graphics. The game looks beautiful.
It's astounding. They say they take a month to input every car into the game, and you can really tell it makes a huge difference. I mean, it's almost like real life.
All right, let's go on to the next game, Crimson Dragon. I came into this thinking, oh God, we'll give it a shot. I came out still about the same level, but a little bit better. It reminded us about Star Fox. If you ever played Star Fox, it kind of felt like that, but it almost felt like, I was a fat Star Fox that could not move around. It was very heavy, you can't move your dragon around kind of flying game.
Yeah, it was very nostalgic for me. It brings me back to the Star Fox tournaments Momo and I used to have when we were like 8 years old.
But not as good.
Not as good, but it is. I mean, if you liked Star Fox, you get that kind of nostalgic. That's neat, but I wouldn't pick this game up. The shooting is really not that good. The gameplay is kind of boring, and the story comes off as
well, we don't know what
cheesy.
I don't know if they really gave a story with the demo, but it could be better. I'm not gonna say that it's bad, but let's go on to the only positive I guess I can say is the graphics were pretty. They weren't amazing. They were pretty.
They look neat.
All right, let's move on.
Kind of looked like an exceptional anime.
Yeah, it kind of does, actually. That is exactly what it looked like. Loco Cycle. Came in thinking stupid. Came in thinking stupid. Stupid. I'm also stupid as well. But the only thing I thought was positive was the reaction from the biker who's on his back for some reason.
He's being, like, dragged along by a tailpipe or something. It's really weird.
Compared to the motorcycle, the guy who's on the guy who's riding the motorcycle only speaks Spanish, while the computer only speaks English, and it was funny, it was humorous, but
I came out of Loco Cycle thinking the same thing that I thought about Family Guy. It's stupid funny. Just really weird, stupid shit going on, but it gets a laugh out of you.
So you think if you wouldn't buy it, but you would maybe think about renting it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Fair enough.
Definitely a rent it kind of game.
I think if you say, oh, here you go, try this game out, I would definitely try it out and play it, because, I like games, I'll play almost anything. From Gmod, you see I play all this stupid crap, but it's fun. Besides that, don't buy it, rent it probably if you can. If it's not an arcade game, I don't really know what it is, because I don't pay too much attention to Loco Cycle, but whatever. Moving on, Zoo Tycoon, he didn't try it out, I tried it out for a few minutes. If you ever liked Zoo Tycoon, Roller Coaster Tycoon, I wish they did Roller Coaster Tycoon instead for Xbox,
Yeah.
but anyways, it was very, very pretty. It was a very pretty Zoo Tycoon game. It's not as advanced the PC version is. It's a little harder to create things that you want to do, but the graphics were simply amazing. I don't want to do too much more because I think it's a limited time thing, so you have to pick it up when it's out or you're not going to be able to get it. I think if you like Zoo Tycoon, pick it up. If you don't, then just skip it.
Fans of GTA, I am sorry. No, you cannot run over people with golf carts.
I was trying to run over people with the carts they had in there. Couldn't do it. They just push them to the side. I was disappointed. I wanted to run people over. Can't do it. Peggle. I didn't play this, but you played it, so let's.
Okay. Peggle it's like Candy Crush. It's like Bubble Burster. You get the feeling that it's going to be one of those arcade type games, hopefully free, because I wouldn't pay for it. But
I highly doubt it's going to be free.
You shoot a little thing and it bounces around a whole bunch of squares, and then if you land it in a cup thing, you get a free ball. But other than that,
I know there's
really
some
worth your
Peggle
time.
fans that really enjoy Peggle, so I guess we can't really say because we never played the first game. I'm going to guess it's probably a buy for you guys then, but we didn't play it before, and we're probably not going to play it again. But
for those of you that haven't played it, I'd call it a rent it if you got little kids coming over. Other than that, it's not like... I'll put it this way. It's not serious gaming.
yeah.